Na kwa kemi jiba wa mwe fi.
Alright. Okay, sure. Okay. Alright, so it's the President's Cup for 2022, the 198th meeting between the two biggest clubs in Ghana. Accra House of Oak take on Asante Kotoko, and this is going to be the 6th meeting between these two clubs in the month of March. Joining me doing the discussion today for this episode of the GhanaWeb live coverage of the President's Cup. My name is Joel Eshen, and today I'll be joined by Perez Ezra Kwao, sports editor for GhanaWeb, and Emmanuel Lenin. All the gentlemen, and thanks for joining me here.
Good evening, Joel.
Let me go through the lineup. Richard Atta will be maintaining his position. Mohamed Al-Hassan, Robert Adusoa, Dennis Nkrumah-Kosa. He was the man of the match in the Super Clash last 2 weeks. Abdul Aziz Nordin will be in the Ben Jr. and Isaac Mensah. They will be completing the lineup for the Phobians.
I think when you look at the Hearts of Oak lineup, clearly that Coach Samuel Bodu is looking to dominate the game from the midfield. And I think that's how the game is going to play out. Whoever wins the midfield battle, as we saw in the game barely a week ago, will win the game, or who have a greater chance of winning the game. Hearts of Oak have Muntari, they have Abdul Aziz Nuruddin, they have Salim Adams, who did not put up a great performance in the initial game, but today presents another opportunity for him to stake a claim, even for a chance in the Blaster. So it's a midfield battle. They have Muntari, who will try to knock the ball long to the forward line. They have Isaac Mensah. I'm quite surprised Mensah is starting today. I haven't been impressed with the performance. But in Kojo Obin Jr., Free Banier, there are two players that on any day can turn up and do things for us. So clearly, Salim Adams, Nuruddin to mop up in the heart. Slow Muntari, knock it long to the wingers. Then they try to fly the ball in, as they did, especially in the first half of the league match we saw about 5 or 6 days ago.
Now let's go through the lineup of the Porcupines. Ima will bring you in very soon. Now Justice Blade, Chief Justice, returns to the starting lineup of coach Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum. Dana Ibrahim will be imposed for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Augustine in Japan, Abdul Ghani Usman, captain for the side. Mubarak Yusuf, Imor Ibrahim will be completing the back four for Asante Kotoko, the same lineup we saw in the Super Clash. We have Sheriff Mohammed Mudaris Sarifu, Justice Blay, Richmond Lamte, Georges Mfege, and then the man of the moment, Frank Etuga Emmanuel.
I think this squad, it's quite different from the one they used in the league game.
Yeah,
because I see Justice Blay starting in this lineup. And with this lineup, I think it's clear. Prosper Ogumnate will go for a 4-4-2 formation. And with his midfield, he's trying to hold on the ball. He will try to have the lion's share of possession. So you have Mudasiru, who is very good on the ball in there, and you have Richmond Lamte also in there, who's also good on the ball. So I think Sheriff Mohammed and then Justice Blay have to do all the work in terms of the engine room, so they will operate from the engine room. I'm expecting Kotoko to, hold on to the ball more, dictate the pace, because they have good players who know how to identify their players in between the channels and all that. I think Georges Mfege, the last time both teams met, I think he did a very good job, and I'm looking forward to he playing alongside his compatriot Frank Mbella, how they will distract Hearts of Oak backline.
All right, now after the Super Clash, the topic in town was the comment of Hearts of Oak coach, which was in retaliation to what Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum said, that even if he had decided to use his youth side, there's no way Kotoko can beat him. Now, this is a coach that in 7 attempts, Asante Kotoko, they've never been able to beat Samuel Boadu, except for the Normalization Cup in 2018.
So, when you are talking about Samuel Boadu and Kotoko games, we have an exception. That's the NC Cup game. And this is also another cup game. So, although Kotoko have failed to beat Samuel Boadu in the league, they have a record of beating him in a cup game. This is another cup game. So I think if I'm Prosper Nate Ogum, this is the time to prove that I can beat Samuel Boadu. Yes, the last time it didn't work for me. So I think this is another chance for Prosper Ogumnete to prove that indeed he can beat Samuel Boadu, but Samuel Boadu is also difficult to beat.
All right, now let me bring you in. Hasselhoff, they are having a very difficult season. With this trophy, which we are using to honor President Akufo-Addo, can it turn their season around if they are able to win this?
There is no better confidence booster, or there is no better morale booster than beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Much more winning the trophy after beating Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So it's a perfect opportunity for Hearts of Oak to turn around their season, to bring some confidence, because that has been missing in their game. You watch a player like Ike Mensah playing and you are like, this guy lacks confidence. Look at some of the chances that Kojo Obin Jr. missed in the first half, and you would think that if he had a bit of confidence, perhaps he would have been a bit more accurate, a bit more purposeful with some of the chances he got. So it's a great opportunity for Hearts of Oak to say, let's beat our rivals, let's win the trophy. Now let's turn around the morale in the dressing room, because this will bring a lot of excitement, a lot of pride, and a lot of desire in the dressing room that our season is not as bad as we think. We can still turn things around. So this is what the game presents for Hearts of Oak. For Kumasi Asante Kotoko, a defeat would be huge for them, because if you have over 13 points stretch with the league, then you come up against us twice within 2 weeks and you're unable to beat them. It says a lot about the quality of the team, and it gives Hearts of Oak the bragging right to say, even at your peak, want to me and share it. And I'm not sure Kotoko would want to present Hearts of Oak that particular meat for them to chop.
But I think Kotoko have a good chance, because in the last 3 cup games they played against Hearts of Oak, they've won all. So coming from the backdrop of that fine record, I'm expecting them to win.
Now the players are already at the Accra Sports Stadium. They are on the pitch doing the normal tradition that we do before the game. Hearts of Oak, they are in their rainbow colors. Asante Kotoko, they are in their yellow away jersey. This is different from the white they use in the Super Clash. And Ima, we know the tradition and the talk about these things. Is it something that can turn things around if we go to the other side of the game?
This is the same jersey they used in the last in the
no, they
league
used
game.
white.
They used yellow and black, I remember clearly. But they are playing from the Independence Square, right?
No,
so
it is not clear, because the two captains will have to meet, and then
if they play from that side, they are going to win.
Why?
If they play from that side, I know what I'm talking about. If Kotoko start the game from the Independence Square, they are going to win. Yeah.
Have you been to?
I think there is history behind it. Last time I heard one of our most renowned sports historians talk about this particular way. He made mention of the fact that whichever team starts from the Independence end has a better chance of winning the game, and there are numbers to back it. So Yima might be doing his Kotoko things, but I think the stats support it. So you have to give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's the President's Cup. For many, they are asking why we are honoring President Akufo-Addo, but to the other side, they are also saying that, well, he was able to handle the COVID-19 pandemic well. So it is a perfect opportunity for the 2 biggest clubs in Ghana to honor him with a football game. Now they are playing the national anthem, and the players are there, everybody at the stadium. And before I go, let me ask you this. Frank Etuga Mbella, he was not able to announce himself in the Super Clash, but right after the Super Clash, he got 2 goals. Is it another opportunity for him to show that, yes, he can play the big games?
If you want to be a Kotoko hero, if you want Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans to remember you 10, 15 years from now, just score against Hearts of Oak and don't even score any other game. They will remember you. We still remember celebrate Eric Bekwe because of Bekweke Coleman. How he tormented the Hearts of Oak in defense.
And this guy too, the one who scored the hat-trick in the
Sadiq Adams.
Yes.
So you can bully the Dream FCs, the guys, but if you come up against Hearts of Oak and you fail to deliver, in the books of most Kotoko fans, you're not a top striker. And once you come up against Hearts of Oak, there is everything to play for. And if you are the lead striker for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, you have to prove your mettle against Hearts of Oak. So it's a big chance. I don't know how he'll be able to accommodate the pressure, but today presents him with a greater chance to say that I'm a big man on a big day. I can take the game by the strap of the neck and do the game for Kotoko. So that's an opportunity for him.
Yeah, Etuga was able to get 2 shots on target in in a super clash. Now it followed with a brace. It could have been a hat-trick if not for the mistake of the referee in that game against Dreams FC. Is it the perfect opportunity to show the Phobians that he has arrived?
I think this is also another opportunity because with this, it means he's going to face Hearts of Oak 3 times this season.
Yeah.
So even if he fails to score in this game, I think he has another opportunity in the league game, which will be the second round. But I think this is the game he has to try and score because we still remember Ahmed Toure because of what he did to Hearts of Oak. So if you want to be remembered, just as Perez said, then you have to score. He's an intelligent player. He understands positioning, and then he understands how space means as a striker. So I think Hearts of Oak also did a very good job on him the last time, and I'm looking forward to how they will repeat it in this game.
All right, so it seems that the two captains, all of them, they want to start from the place you're talking about. And seeing Hearts of Oak won the lottery, so now they are going to start from the conference center. Does it change something for you?
So Hearts of Oak are going to start from the conference center.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Hearts of Oak are going to start from the conference center, then you know where the match is going to be. I mean,
it is going
Kotoko is going to win.
But except the one who started the conference.
No, the independence.
Yes. So if you start at the independence, according to the last decade.
In the last decade, you have brighter chance of winning.
Well, investors, Abrantify is also here. If you are watching us, they are giving you the tips. You have a good opportunity. The game haven't started yet, but this is GhanaWeb coverage of the 2022 Presidential Cup. Now the match officials for the day, Gabriel Opoguahen will be the center referee for this game. Hopefully, at the end of 90 minutes, he will not be the talking point for this game.
I think in the last game that they played, I think the best of applause went to the referee on the day because he got all his calls right. He didn't try to make himself the star of the game. He allowed the game to play where he needed to show authority as the referee. He did. So I'm sure there are lessons that this particular referee will want to glean from that particular match. If you want to be a big-time referee in Ghana football, this is one of the platforms where you launch yourself. There are government officials there. There are potential investors into our football there. We wouldn't want to put up a performance that would deter them from investing in our football. So it's a huge, huge opportunity for him. Show what you got. You get to have a chance of featuring more big games in the Ghana Premier League. And who knows, you could become the next Daniel Lai.
Who knows, you could become the next Daniel Lai. Let me go through the lineup for the two teams again. Richard Atta will be in post for Hearts of Oak, Fatah Mohammed captain, Mohammed Al-Hassan, Robert Abusowa, and Dennis Nkrumah-Kosa. Abdul Aziz Nordin, Salim Adams, Sule Ali Muntari will be in the midfield with Daniel Efri Bale, Kojo Ben Jr. and Isaac Mensah leading the attack for Accra Hearts of Oak. Now with Asante for Justice Blade returns to the starting lineup since returning from Mediama Sporting Club. Danlad Ibrahim keep his position in goal. Augustine Japan, Abdul Ghani Ismail, Mubarak Yusuf, Ibrahim Imoro, Sharif Mohammed, Mudassir Salifu, Justice Blade, Richmond Ni Lamte, another guy that a lot of people are hoping that he could make a case in the Blasters. Now, President Akufo-Addo, the entourage, that is the presidential convoy, is arriving at the Accra Sports Stadium. Don't forget that this game, we are using it to honor Adudi, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And as tradition demands, he will be the one to get us started at the Accra Sports Stadium. That is why it's been 22 minutes past the hour 6, and we've still not been able to start this game. Now the President has arrived. Let's see what Adudi. A lot of people before the game, especially House of Oak fans, were saying that they had heard that the President will be wearing Asante Kotoko JC and he'll be biased and all that.
I think it's from the picture you're saying, he's in white, and as a president of the country, I like the fact that he's not hiding his bias that he's a Kotoko fan. But on days like this where a match is being played in honor of your position or in honor of the power you hold, you wouldn't want to show bias. You'd want to display neutrality. And I think that's what the president has done. The white color is good. Hearts of Oak have worn white before. Kotoko have worn white before. So what clearly he's wearing represents the fact that it's a clash of basically Ghanaians, because when someone will say, well, I support 11 whites or Hazakets, but almost every Ghanaian support Hearts of Oak or Kotoko. And if you are the president and you are coming to a game that has the two sides of the country in terms of football clashing, you wouldn't want to take sides, because there are even some members of his party who belong to Hearts of Oak. So clearly, he's shown that he's matured. The people around him have shown that they are aware of, understand what the game stands for, and I like the color he wore.
President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo is on the pitch. He's greeting the officials of both Accra Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, and he's being accompanied by Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf, and we've seen what is going on in the VIP box. A lot of politicians. I can see Befi, Honorable Befi, wearing his Phobian colors, and that is the army also doing their thing, playing the national anthem for the president.
You know, people have, ever since this came out, they're going to play in honor of the president. People have raised questions about whether indeed we should be doing this, looking at the situations we find ourselves in. Depending on where you stand on the political divide, but I think it's important that on every Independence Day, or ahead of every day, we do this to remind the nation of how football is crucial in how we do things. It's the common factor that unites the country. So, irrespective of what we think of how the President Akufo-Addo has managed the economy or his government has handled the economy, we still have to appreciate the fact that the President Cup was not designed for specifically President Nana Akufo-Addo, but it was designed for the office of the president. And as such, every year we play a match to remind ourselves of the integral role football has played right from independence. And Nkrumah had a plan for Ghana football. So football is a big, big part of our life. And in a month or on days that we celebrate when the nation was born, it's important that we remind ourselves of the integral role football played in whatever country we have economically, social, politically. Football is crucial. So it's important that we play this game every year to honor whoever is in the capacity of the president.
Now, the captain for Asante Kotoko, Abdul Ghani Usman, is introducing his teammates to the first gentleman of the land, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, and this might be the only opportunity for you as a player, if you are not playing for the Black Stars, to have a face-to-face encounter with the president.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity to have an encounter with the president, and I think the organization has been good, but although they had problems in their promotion, but for the organization it's been good. My problem is the time. You schedule a game for 6 p.m. Kickoff time. These things should have been done somewhere around 5 p.m., 5:30, so that the game can kick off exactly 6. But we are...
The president has his own time.
No.
You know, when you say the president has his own, I would want to err on the side of a president, but I don't think it's fair when you say this thing has been planned for months. I'm sure in the president itinerary.
But you see, the reason I'm saying that is we didn't hear anything about the President's Cup for this year until we played the Super Clash.
I'm not sure the GACA executives will come out, fix a time with that records to the president's schedule for the day. We are even playing against the law, against the rule, because Hearts Kotoko matches are not supposed to be played under floodlight.
Yeah, but according to the GACA boss, they said that there is no way, nowhere in that report was it stated that that game cannot be played at 6 p.m.
Oh, it was advised that...
They said it was advised, but it was not captured in the government white paper.
Of course, but we all know the potential of this game, things escalating and getting out of hand. So for them to have scheduled the match as...
Okay, so I'm coming. Now is the time for the president to get us underway at the... Yes, and that is Abdudi doing his skills. This is something a lot of your big stars cannot do. a lot of the players in the Ghana Premier League wish they could at least get a skill like this.
At least he showed off some skills. He's a big time football fan, so we expect him to know how to kick.
He's been a footballer before, though.
So for me, my problem is the kickoff time. We schedule a game for 6 p.m. kickoff, and we are almost 6:30. The game is still yet to be kicked off. Like, the organizers have questions to answer.
All right, the president is done with the small arrangement they did on the pitch. Now he's going back to the VIP box. It is not going to be an easy place for. Okay, now let me take your prediction then. We go.
Whoever scores first will not lose.
Whoever scores
first. Matches.
Whoever scores first will not lose this game.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want a prediction. Maybe goals. Are we, because the one we saw last 2 weeks ago was.
The most difficult thing for me is to predict hard-fought matches, Arsenal-Tottenham matches, Ghana-Nigeria games.
Okay.
Because those games don't sometimes rely a lot on form. There are a lot of emotions, a lot of factors contribute to the kind of result. So I can't make a prediction, honestly.
All right, man. Quick one, then we go.
I would want Kotoko to win, but I think I have a bad feeling, and I don't want that bad feeling. So I want Kotoko to win. At least 2-0 will be okay.
2-0 for Kotoko, and then Perez is saying that the team that scores first today will be able to win the trophy at stake for this year's Presidential Cup. And for your information, Accra has the vote. They've won the President's Cup 4 times. Asante Kotoko, they've also won this trophy 8 times. Now, we are at the Accra Sports Stadium. Let's see, this will be the 198th meeting between Hazavok and Asante Kotoko. And for the President's Cup, this will be the 6th time they are meeting at the Accra Sports Stadium in the March of month. And referee Gabriel gets us underway at the Accra Sports Stadium from commentary position. The Porcupine Warriors are playing from my left, and they will be scoring on my right. With Accra Hazavok also playing on my right, and they will be scoring on my left. Richmond Lamte was trying to get possession, and the Phobians able to intercept the ball. They lose possession quickly. Ball back to Asante Kotoko. And Sheriff Mohammed was trying to find Richmond Lamte at the right side of the Phobian attack, but he couldn't hold on to possession, and Hazavok will have a defensive throw-in. That is Coach Samuel Boedu, treble-winning coach in the 2020-2021 Ghana Premier League season. He's not having the season that he had wanted. Hazavok take their free kick. Dennis Nkrumah Kosa is trying to drive in, and then his pass through has been well cleared by Mubarak Yusuf. For a lot of people who are watching this game, this might be the perfect opportunity for Richard Atta and Ibrahim Danla to make a case for themselves in the Black Stars.
I'm sure the Black Stars squad has already been firmed up, but if there is an opportunity to stake a last-minute claim, then a game like this is the perfect opportunity. For a goalkeeper like Richard Atta, I'm sure his name is already there. What begs the question is whether he will be the one to keep the post.
Yes.
And if he proves again today, that like if he performs today like he did in the last game, I'm sure Coach Tuado will be having a rethink about folding him ahead of Jojo Walakot, who we don't know whether will be picked or not.
A free kick for Accra Hazavok after Dennis Nkrumah Kosa was brought down by Augustine Japan. Suleiman Tai will take this one and quickly finds his defender. Mohamed Al-Hassan back to Robert Adusoa. Adusoa finds a lawyer. The ball is back to Adusoa. And Adusoa will try to go for a long one, looking for Daniel Efriye Barnier. Efriye loses possession to the Kotoko midfield. And now to Justice Blay. Referee calls for an infringement on Isaac Mensah for Justice Blade. And 21 years ago today, the President's Cup was played on 4th March 2001 at the Accra Sports Stadium. The game ended 1-1 draw. George Irenu of Accra House of Oak scored the first goal before Togolese international Frank Achu equalized for Asante Kotoko in the 79th minute.
I think in the last game, Hearts of Oak were the side that started quite strongly. Today looks like Kumasi and Asante Kotoko are the ones who have begun on a strong note. They are making the intentions to the Hearts of Oak third of the game. So I don't know how long that will last, or whether Hearts will be able to repel the attack from the Porcupines.
And in that particular game in 2001, there was no winner after the 1-1 draw in 90 minutes of action. There were 3 red cards in the game. George Irenu, Isaac Owusu, who was called Ninja for Asante Kotoko, he was sent off. The game was officiated by referee Ibrahim Idrisu. And now House of Oak, in the final third of Asante Kotoko, Justice Blade wins possession to Moro Ibrahim. The left side of the Asante Kotoko defense, Moro back to Ganiu. Kotoko trying to build the attack from the back. Ganiu was trying to find Justice Blade to Mudasiri Salifu. And clearly, the Porcupines are dictating play. So far at the Accra Sports Stadium, we've done barely 5 minutes. But the passing range of the Porcupines are working. And someone will say this is the agro football that the Porcupines were expecting during the tenure of CK Akono.
For how Kotoko are playing, I think it was expected because they have good players who know how to control the ball, who know how to find their players at the right time, and knows how to do the one-time pass, when to go one time, when to control before you pass and all that. So it is expected of them, and this is how I expect them to play, and they are playing really well. How they defend, that is where the problem is. So I'm looking forward to how they will defend when they lose this possession.
Looking forward to how they will defend. And in that game against House of Oak in the Super Clash, whenever the Phobians break away, it is dangerous. Imo Ibrahim has been able to defend the cross from Fatah Mohammed that was intended for the 3 Phobians in the box of Asante Kotoko. A long throw-in. Kotoko is able to defend, and Mudasiri driving the ball. He has been fouled by his mentor, Sule Muntari.
It's kind of interesting because both two players, Mudasiri is more like a younger version of Sule Muntari, and you have the older one coming out to the younger one. That he did it to him in the first game as well, but you should just take a senior man about confidence.
Mudasiri Salifu. He has said it on countless occasions that the former AC Milan and Inter Milan midfielder is his role model in the game. Daniel Friebani scored the winner in that 2021 encounter, and House of Oak is trying to break away now. But a good recovery from Imo Ibrahim. And so far, both George Mfege and Frank Etuga, they've been silent in the game, even though the Porcupines are controlling the game with Dasiri Salifu.
The pitch, Jesus. I don't know, I mean, it's good to have our president witness this because clearly the pitch it's not a pitch which should be hosting a match of this nature. And I'm sure maybe from here we'll be able to direct the sports minister and say, let them fix the pitch because it's not looking good. I mean, the ball keeps bouncing. The players can't control, put the ball on the ground as they would love. They should do something about it.
Hasselfolk in attack for Tao. Right side, wings in the cross, goes straight into the waiting arms of goalkeeper Danlad. Ibrahim, definitely he could have done better.
I think that is the downside of Fatao's game. He's a very good fullback, but when he go on offensive, his crosses are very poor, and that's the downside of his game. As a modern day fullback, you need to work on your attacking game. You need to swing in good balls for the strikers, but that was a poor cross from him.
Poor cross from Fatao. He captained the Phobian side to end their 10-year wait for a trophy, and he did it in grand style by winning the treble. And coach Samuel Boedu, they proceeded to the CAF Interclub competition.
You know, it's a ceremonial game. I'm sure the referee would want the game to flow as much as he can, but there are a lot of flying tackles from Hartlepool especially. And I think at some point the referee will have no option than to flip a card and in order to restore some calm into the game because the tackles are way too many.
Tackles in Hartlepool. So relying on their counter breaks. And they will start the build up again. Robert Adusoa, the match forward to Nuruddin Abdulaziz, was having a good game in a 2020 before his now the forward establishing the
That is the perfect plan of Accra Hartlepool. Try get Muntari, hit the balls long to the forward line. It hasn't worked in the opening 9 minutes, but Kotoko should be careful because they are going to see a lot more of that. It happened in the first game, and it's going to happen a lot in this game as well.
I think what Hartlepool are doing is they are trying to break Kotoko's play with tackles. You know, if you allow them to keep their flow, it means you are going to do a lot more of defending. So you break their flow by fouling them. So I think Hartlepool are getting their strategy right. Kotoko needs to be careful with their high line because Muntari is an expert when it comes to long passes. So Kotoko needs to be careful at the back.
Kotoko needs to be careful at the back, and Hartlepool are always trying to go behind. And that was a good play from Augustine Japan to get past his marker, Daniel Friebani. But now, Phobians are still pressing. But the clearance from the back from Mubarak, you see, and that's the trophy. It looks like a golden trophy with the Ghanaian colors being decorated all over. But I can tell you on authority, but that is not a golden trophy. And Kotoko gives away a very cheap free kick. Augustine Japan foul Daniel Friebani.
I mean, when you start giving free kicks away in a team that has Muntari, you should be careful because he knows how to whip them well. He knows how, whether it's an out swinger or in swinger, he knows how to kick them. Should not be giving such balls.
Muntari whips the ball. I don't know what he was trying to do, but this ball can never beat the under 20 best goalkeeper, Danlad Ibrahim. But the Phobians recover quickly with Salim Adam being brought down by Justice Blade.
Now I think Hartlepool are taking control of the game. Salim Adams and Abdul Nuruddin, they are stamping their authority in the game, and they are beginning to let Hartlepool have more of the ball.
And Hartlepool are on the offensive now. Dennis Nkrumah finds Muntari. Muntari was trying to pick out Isaac Mensah in the midst of Mubarak Yusuf and Abdul Ghani, but he was caught behind the enemy territories, and Kotoko will have an advantage. Fatah Mohammed gives the ball away cheaply, and George Mfege will pick the ball. And he finds Mudasiru inside the 18-yard box. But that was a very poor ball from Mudasiru. Now, Kotoko will have to defend because the Phobians are on the break. Daniel Friye-Barnier is able to pick out Isaac Mensah. Mensah delays the ball. Mubarak receive. Did a very good interception to delay the pass. Hasselfolk still in possession. Phobian seems to have taken control of the game, and Suleiman Tai should be careful. And Baby Jet Asambojan is at the stadium, sitting beside the CEO of Asante, Kotoko, Nanaya Amponsa, who has been doing extremely well since taking over from the George Amoako administration 2 years ago.
You know, and the earlier chance that Mudasiru had, I was quite surprised that he kicked it that hard, because he's one of those few players that you can always trust in such positions to lay the ball or to know the exact pass to give the attacker. So it was quite surprising, but it's early times in the game. There are a lot of adrenaline flowing through the players, so you want to give them the benefit of that. I'm sure as the game goes on, they will settle into it. The tackles will go, and we are going to enjoy the game. The reason why we loved the first game was that it was a nice game, flowed quite nicely. There weren't a lot of tackles. Tactically, both coaches showed that they are the future of Ghanaian football, and we want to see a repeat of that today.
Temporary hold up because Isaac Mensah is receiving medical attention after clashing with Mubarak Yusuf. Samuel Boydu trying to direct a Friye-Barnier on what to do. Isaac Mensah seems to be well, and he can continue this game. Richmond Lamptey. Others call him the long-range expert, but the game resumes with Mubarak finding George Mfege, and Asante Kotoko is in the 18-yard box. What was Richmond Lamptey trying to do?
I think that was a poor decision after taking on the marker, and that was a Tuga.
And that was a Tuga?
I was expecting a cutback. You cut back and then somebody will connect it, but he tried to go for the glory and he went side netting.
That was a Tuga's first touch inside the Hasselfolk 18-yard box after 15 minutes. And one will say he doesn't need much. But had he decided to pass that ball, probably the Porcupines will be leading the game by a long goal. And Mohamed Al-Hassan with his driving ball, like Tony Rudiger, but he was fouled by Imor Ibrahim. Mohamed Al-Hassan, graduate of WAFA, one of the experienced players in a Phobian jersey. Kotoko keeps committing fouls around their box. Eight trophies for Kotoko, 4 for Hasselfolk, 2 for Brekum Chelsea, and 1 for Buswan Dwarfs. In the history of the President's Cup, Muntai will whip this one in. He was trying to catch Danlad Ibrahim by surprise, but the ball missed the pole by a few inches.
And that should be a warning to Kumasi Asante, like I said earlier. If you have Muntai in your team at the highest level, the World Cup, in the Premier League, AC Milan, Inter Milan, he's done it. So when you have him, when you're up against him, you don't have to be committing such fouls.
You don't have to be committing such fouls. And we will have the first corner in the game. Daniel Friye-Barnier wins the Phobians the first corner. The Porcupines have been called back to defend the alliance. Untai will take this one again. Goes for a long one inside the 18-yard box, but Justice Blay cleared the ball out of danger. But that was a beautiful control from Dennis Nkrumah, and he's able to pick out Daniel Fiye Barnier. And Barnier plays like Timo Werner, always caught behind enemy lines. And Barnier is offside, and Kotoko can breathe. That was a very good pass from Dennis Nkrumah.
Of course, it was a good pass, but then again, Daniel Fiye Barnier, his sense of positioning comes to bear. I mean, his positional awareness needs to be worked on. He's a good player, he has the pace. So if he's able to position himself well, it means he's going to score more. So he has to work more on
and Hasselfolk in the final third. But Justice Blay finds George Mfuege. Mfuege to Mudasiru. Mudasiru is trying to pick out Frank Etuga. And the Phobians are keeping the tabs on him. Because the 20-year-old is chasing the 22-year-old record of arguably the greatest Ghana Premier League striker ever, Ismail Ado.
There is nothing arguable about Ismail Ado's place in the Ghana Premier League. He's the greatest goal scorer in the history of the Ghana Premier League.
A lot of people will contest that.
I don't think anyone with knowledge about Ghanaian football would contest the status of Ismail Ado in Ghanaian football. He's the greatest goal scorer in the Ghana Premier League. That is without a doubt.
Ismail Ado won the Goal King 3 times in a row. And Kotoko, their first major action came with a header from Richmond Lamptey. And that's a big man in the VIP box. Like these foreign coaches will say, in Ghana, everybody is a coach. And I think Richmond Lamptey was complaining about a possible handball, but too bad, too sad, we don't have the video assistant referee to check this for us. We've done 20 minutes of action, and in the archives, 110 games have been played at the Accra Sports Stadium between Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. And the Porcupines, like they always say, Accra is their home because they've won 36 out of the 103 games they played against the Phobians. Hearts of Oak have won 31. And 36 of those games have ended in a draw. 107 goals have been scored. So we don't normally get a goalless draw between Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko at the Accra Sports Stadium. But in the Super Clash, we've gotten Augustine Japan is breaking away. But Dennis Nkrumah, probably, if he was part of the Phobian team in Africa, he could have been able to stop the crosses.
He's made one block in the game, just one. So I think.
But they went to Esperance and they were never able to look at that run from him.
Yeah, he has the pace to
look at that run to stop the cross. The Phobians who went to Esperance. Whack, sorry, and they couldn't stop a single cross into their box.
We'll talk about that game later, but I think Kotoko are doing everything right in their build-up. They start their build-up very well in the first phase, second phase, but in the final third, that is where the problem is. They have to take their time and make the right decisions. I think they are in a rush anytime they reach the Hartlepool area. So that is where they need to keep their focus and then, I mean, have some composure and then make the right decisions.
Gabriel Ahen is the center referee for this game. He's been assisted by Ali, Ba, and Freeman Awuli as the assistant too, with Philip Ataforce and serving as the match commissioner for this game. There seems to be a lot of complaints from the Kotoko players inside the 18-yard box of Accra Harzabok. But there is no video assistant referee in Harzabok. The game seems to be getting physical.
I mean, there is too much physicality. I expected that by the 20th minute, the adrenaline that was pumping through the players and making them going with such erratic tackles would have gone down. But looks like we still have to do the issue. They need to calm down. We know it's a big game. We know the president is there. Everyone would want to impress, but they should calm down. You know.
And Mudasiru.
It's so sad to see. Mudasiru fighting Sule.
Mudasiru is fighting Sule.
That's his idol. So,
and Sule seems to be in pain. I think he was fouled by Mudasiru. That is why the Phobians have a free kick just around the center half of the pitch.
I seem not to understand Mudasiru's rage because
he went in for the dangerous.
He committed a blunder, you know, and I don't think Muntari. I don't know what Muntari said, but I don't know what triggered Mudasiru to behave in the manner he did, because Muntari looked a bit calm. He sees him as a younger brother.
Yeah.
He knows the occasion. Wouldn't want to be the headline or wouldn't want to dominate the headlines for the wrong reason. So I'm quite surprised that, you know, Mudasiru acted the way he did. Maybe Muntari said something that we don't know of, but it doesn't look good.
The game is still goalless. We are approaching the 25th minute mark, and Coach Prosper Nati has to bring his men to order, and I think it is time for referee Gabriel Poku to step his authority in this game by issuing out yellow cards to players who are misbehaving on the pitch. And that's the beauty of the game. They make peace.
that's sportsmanship. Fair play.
Fair play. Our Black Stars players were fighting over fair play.
I think Muntari is still in pain. He is limping.
Yeah. He was injured against Legon Cities.
I like his commitment. I mean, he plays with a lot of determination. Plays like he's playing for an European club, even though he's 37 years, but
yeah.
He still shows that quality of Sule Muntari. So I think it's good for her to focus.
It's good for Harzabok. Now the resulting free kick from the foul of Mude Sule Muntari has been wasted, and Kotoko will build the attack from the back again. And now the Porcupines are trying to use the long balls. And Mudasiru Salifu has been booked by referee Gabriel Pokuahen for the foul on Sule Muntari. Too many flying tackles in the game. Abdulaziz Nordin. He should also be careful. And when it gets to this time, the fans are not comfortable in their seats because they are waiting for goals, and Kotoko gets their first corner in the game after 27 minutes of action. And that's some of our beautiful ladies at the stadium. The corner has been effected. Mudasiri was trying to get a drive, and George Mfege. And look at the ladies.
They are there for Kotoko.
They are there. They are Porcupine faithfuls. And another corner again. I think it's a replay. George Mfege was trying to pick out Frank Etuga. Daniel Efriebane has committed a foul on Augustine Japan. One of the revelations in the ongoing Ghana Premier League season.
I mean, he's a young lad with great potential. Someone that could fill the Black Stars right back spot for decades because he's got the talent, obviously. It's just how he manages himself, whether he will allow it to get into his head. So those are the things that might stand into. But in terms of raw talent, clearly, he's talented enough to go all the way to the top.
He's talented. He has been able to bench Christopher Neti and the two attackers for the two teams, Kojo Bin Jr. and Frank Etuga. We've barely seen anything from them. Kojo Bin Jr. had a very good opportunity to score in the super class, but he was denied by the pool. And pair the history. Asante Kotoko have always been a better side in the President's Cup. And whenever the Phobians break away, it is difficult for them because they have only two attackers. And that was a good switch of play. And the Phobians! That was a good attempt from Salim Adams. It was Isaac Mensah rather. He's trying to go for that long loop. He's trying to go for the long range. Missed the pole. I think he hit the pole.
Yeah, that was a good effort. I think this is the
And I think Ibrahim Danlad got a touch.
Yeah, this is the best opportunity in the game, and it's been a game of fouls. And I think Isaac Mensah did very well with the technique, and we have to applaud Danlad Ibrahim for that save.
Danlad Ibrahim did very well to get a tip of that ball. And this will be the fourth corner in the game, the third for Hearts of Oak. We've done 31 minutes of action. Muntari will effect this one too. He whips in the ball. But the gallant man in the yellow jersey for Asante Kotoko, they've so far been exceptional in defending the set pieces. Mohamed Al Hassan will effect this throw kick. And as the folk are always going for the long balls, but Danlad comes to the aid of Asante Kotoko. He has been able to replace Razak Abdallah so well that the fans of Asante Kotoko are not even missing the presence of the Black Stars goalkeeper.
I think he's always got it. I mean, someone who went through the under-20 team one day, AFCON with them. Clearly, he must have had some talent to be able to get that far. So he's always got it. He's been at for long, and he's getting his chance. There are even talks of inviting him to the Blaster. So there are good opportunities for him. Let him make sure he takes advantage of them, and hopefully things turn out well for him.
Hopefully. And the two teams seems to be lacking the final touch. Too many fly tackles. Abdulaziz Nordin.
Should be careful.
You know, part of the reasons why Hartlepool dominated the first half of the first game was that they were able to stop Mudasiru from making the. Because I'm not seeing that today. Yes, today he seemed to have a lot of space, a lot of time to take decisions that he likes. If Hartlepool want to come into this game, he's one they have to work on. Once you block him from getting the ball to the flanks or to Ifege and the Tuga, then you have a good chance of winning the game. But I'm not seeing that today.
All right, the game is temporary hold up because Abdulaziz Nordin and Mudasiru, they are both injured. That's the trophy. Shining like a gold, like a golden trophy.
But inshallah, game resumes. And Richmond Lamptey, and more dispossessed by the ball, still in the half of Asante Kotoko. Mudasiru gives a very cheap pass. As a folk picks up possession. And the Phobians are doing it with the veteran Sule Ali Muntari directing affairs for them in midfield. Gaka President Cup. Gaka. We barely heard about them in the last 2 or so years. But they call themselves the welfare body of the clubs. And Mudasiru picks a loose ball around the danger zone of across the folk. But the Phobians have been able to recover quickly. And Fatah Muhammad is able to pick out the Daniel Efriye Barnier. And the Chief Justice was able to stop Efriye Barnier from advancing in the goal area of Asante Kotoko. And that's a replay of the tackle on Barnier. Barnier had wanted a foul, but the assistant line one ignored the call of the black satellite captain. We have 10 more minutes to end the first 45 minutes of the game.
He was trying to shoot from there. I'm quite serious.
And the fine ladies are always represented.
The baby girls.
The baby girls. Yes. I don't know what Mudasiru was trying to do. Maybe we've gotten another Roberto Carlos in our league.
It was Imoro.
Yeah, Imoro Ibrahim. Kotoko in the 18-yard box, guessing a Japan shot,
Trap the
goes
ball.
way off target.
Trap the ball, damn it to evade the defender, then kill it.
They need
It's
to
simple.
have some bit of composure in front of them. Both teams, just calm down. Play.
Look at that pass. Mohamed Al-Hassan was trying to clear the ball.
Kosa had already committed. Just damn you, allow him to pass. Then just some calmness, some composure. Oh, already is supposed to.
And so far, it seems Richard Atta is on a holiday. He hasn't been tested so far in the game.
I think for the game to flow, the referee needs to overlook some fouls, because I don't know why he whistled for this foul. Nuruddin has already lost the ball. So, I think the referee needs to be blamed for how the game has been. It hasn't been an exciting how we anticipated it.
You can let us hear from you. Then the referee Ebane inside the 18-yard box is able to control the ball, finds his captain, and I don't know what the captain was trying to do, but Imor Ibrahim picks the ball. But Salim Adam.
I don't think that the pass from Free Ebane was good either. You know, Fatal just had to come in and kick it as hard as he could. That pass wasn't good. But you know, just barely a week ago, these two sides gave us a very good game.
Then today, is it because it's a ceremonial game?
It's very difficult to understand.
I think they are playing under pressure, you know, and they've not been able to calm down and understand what they are doing. There is too much. I don't know whether it's because of the president, it's the atmosphere. I don't know, but they need to calm down. In the first match, they dominate. You know, they string passes. They play very nice football. But today, boom boom, then
another free kick for the Phobians. Imor Ibrahim brought down Salim Adams. Suleiman Tai will effect this one. When it comes to set pieces, the Phobians will always miss Salif Ibrahim. He was giving them very good deliveries. Muntai whips in this one straight, and that was a good save from Danlad Ibrahim.
Yeah. A brilliant save. And
very super save.
He's focused and he anticipated where Muntai was targeting. He had the angle right, good reflexes.
I now agree with the people who are saying we should call him for Black Stars. Muntai will take this corner again for the Phobians. Has a foul getting all the set pieces. But who will be able to connect? This were the moment that Benjamin Efutukorte was giving them the goals last season. With 8 goals, Muntai whips in the ball. But the ball is still in play, and Sule Muntai has been flagged.
The last time we enjoyed the Richard Atashu.
Yeah.
Now we are having that.
Now it tells you that we don't need to go in for 4th-tier goalkeepers.
Yeah, we have quality in our league. They just need opportunity. That's all.
And I agree with the guests of the sports debate who were saying that after the Super Clash that Muntai deserves to be in the Black Stars. It's a ball we know about the original Super.
I think for Muntai, I mean, it's a long way to the Blasters. I don't think he's ready for a Blasters game.
I'm not even sure he will play
against Nigeria, and I'm not sure Muntai is talking about Blasters now. I mean, a lot of things have happened between him and the national team.
Yeah.
That I don't think he would want to.
Since 2014.
Yes. I don't think he would want that experience again. I think he's closed that chapter. He's now moving on and enjoying the game. You know, enjoying Hearts of Folk. So we shouldn't even bring out the idea. We need a player in his mode. We need someone with a fight, with the hunger, with the drive of Muntari. But I don't think we need the person Muntari now.
That's
The big men are
Crown Regional Minister, Henry Korte. I think he's also a phobia.
But now the pressure is on Asante Kotoko. And you never watch a Ghanaian game without seeing.
I'm surprised by that decision. I think the foul should have gone against Kotoko rather. The push first came from Kotoko, the Kotoko player. So.
And Mudasiru always trying to drive the ball. He gives it back to Mo Ibrahim. Mo trying to find George Mfege. Mfege controls the ball, and Mo Ibrahim wings in the ball inside the 18-yard box. The ball is still with Augustine Ejapon. Ejapon wanted to hurriedly cross the ball. The Porcupines are still in possession. And that was a good defensive approach from Robert Adosoa, frustrating Frank Etuga Mbella from getting his day.
think Etuga has been kept quiet, and the Hearts of Oak centre backs, they've done a good job on Etuga. But the big men at the stadium, they are not impressed.
They are not.
They are not impressed. The game is not nice, really not nice.
The game is not nice, but I think a goal will do before we go for the break. And Daniel referee Barnier, he's been stopped by the gallant Ibrahim and Frank Etuga. And Etuga gets a good way. Etuga is clear, but he was able to dribble Robert Adosoa, but he couldn't beat his defensive partner, Mohamed Al Hassan, who came in to intercept that cross. That was straight on target.
I see the NSA director. I don't know whether he's proud of the pitch that they played the ball because
He should be sacked right after here. And the Phobians!
for me, that's the biggest form of selfishness I've seen in this game. I feel Yabania was true on goal.
And the face, the look on Coach Samuel Buedu, I don't know whether he wanted a penalty.
Coach Obin Jr. was selfish.
Obin Jr., I don't know why he decided to go, because the ball was on his weaker foot.
And Daniel Efriye gave him an option.
Yeah.
So he could have just laid the ball to Efriye, who would be one-on-one with Danlad Ibrahim. So I don't know why he tried to go through the traffic where there were 3 defenders.
I think that Buedu was looking for a penalty, but the referee will not get the benefit of a replay. We will get that. So maybe when we get the replay, my co-commentators can pass a comment.
For me, I'm expecting a better second half than this. Both teams have been below par. They've given us an average game. The game's not enjoyable.
It's been slow.
It's slow, lots of tackles.
And we will do just a minute of
I'm not
added time.
1 minute. Fair.
But the Phobians will have the chance to attack. But that ball from Mohamed Al Hassan won't go anywhere. Danlad Ibrahim has been the difference and is the reason why this game is still goalless. And Kotoko will get the chance to attack, but the ball is still in their area. Mudasiru is able to get, and Richmond Lamte was trying to cut between the lines and get Frank Etuga. And that's the end of the first 45 minutes. End of the first 45 minutes. Accra Hearts of Oak, they've had a couple of chances, half chances I would say, but they've not been able to score a goal. And some people also say that we should thank Danlad Ibrahim for the amazing saves he made in the first half. First 45 minutes, the game has been pretty boring, as some people on our timeline are saying. Goalless, like we saw in the Super Clash, just that in the Super Clash the fans were more entertained.
I think it's a game that promised more, but so far delivered little, because we were feeding off the excitement and the good show we saw in the Super Clash. So we anticipated that they'll be coming to this game with such performance, or even better, because this is the game where they have the eye of the president of the country, they have the eye of a lot of investors, and they have the eye of almost everyone in this country, being aired on the nation's biggest television platform. Yeah. So I don't know what that has led to some pressure on the players, because clearly the players we saw on last week Sunday are not the ones we are seeing today.
It's more like the same. For House of Oak, the only changes.
I'm not talking about the personnel or the players as in the name.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the performance, the quality they exhibited on the day. It's the gulf in terms of quality is huge. And then I don't know. I think I'm going to attribute to the pressure, but the second half affords us a good the two teams an opportunity to pull up a good advertisement for Ghana football and the Ghana Premier League. And I'm sure in the dressing room, the coaches will advise the players and tell them that you're going with too much power, you're going with the tackles are too much. Relax, enjoy the game, and play it your way. Because I'm not even seeing, a lot of showboating, a lot of scores, the likes of Afriye Barnier, the Mudasirus, who are blessed with such scores. I'm not seeing that today. And that's largely due to the fact that they are eager to impress, they are eager to view things because they don't want to be the one that will cause the team the downfall in such a big game. So they need to address all of this, and I'm sure we'll see a better display in the second half.
We hope to see a better game in the second half. Emmanuel, how do you see the first 45 minutes?
For me, I'm very, very disappointed with the gameplay. I'm very, very disappointed in how they've played. Both teams have not played to the tactics they were taught. It has been tackles all over for the first 45 minutes, but I'm expecting a good game in the second half. But in the first half, I think Muntari gave us a good show with his free kick and then his link-up play. He's done very well for Hearts of Oak in the first half. But for Kotoko, who are you going to single out as the best player for them? They've given us an average performance over there. So I think the first half didn't live up to expectation. And if the president might be even asleep whilst watching the first half, it was very boring.
All right, so you saw the first 45 minutes of the 2022 President's Cup between Accra House of Oak and Asante Kotoko. Goalless, Danlad Ibrahim making about 3 brilliant saves in the game to keep his team inside this game. We'll be back with more after the short break. But don't forget that Accra House of Oak, they are chasing their 5th title in the President's Cup, whilst Asante Kotoko are hoping to extend their lead from 8 to 9. We'll be back with more. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the 2022 Presidential Cup here on GhanaWeb TV. Before we went for the break, if you just joined us, it is still goalless between the two teams. Ima, what's going on social media, and take us through some of the comments people are saying about this game.
On social media, Muntari is the talk of town, and everybody seems to be praising Muntari for what he's done so far in the first half. So I will read some comments about Muntari. Kelvin Ashong, he tweeted, Sule Muntari still got the left foot on fire. Wow, a 37-year-old playing like an 18-year-old. Incredible. And young sneaker guy also tweeted, Muntari go do some. He was referring to Mudasiru, the clash with Mudasiru. And Francis Aban also tweeted, Sule Muntari has still got it. Class is permanent. Danlad was up for it. So he was reacting to Muntari's free kick that got saved by Danlad Ibrahim. And Yao Ampofu Jr. also tweeted, in the build-up by Hearts of Folk, Sule Muntari slots in at the left side to create openings so he can loft balls to his attackers. This has created fairly decent chances so far for Hearts of Folk. So he is talking about how Samuel Boadu is using Sule Muntari.
It seems that the general conversation on social media is that they are impressed with the performance.
Of Sule
But if you just join us, it is still goalless between Hearts of Folk and Asante Kotoko in this year's President's Cup. Now, the conversation about Muntari is that the guy still has the quality we need in the Black Stars.
The quality, I think, yes, he still has. I mean, obviously, he's showing that class is permanent. I think from the start I'm reading, he made 26 passes, the most by a Hearts of Oak player in the first half. He made the most tackles, and you have a 37-year-old Muntari making such tackles in the biggest game in Ghanaian football. That tells you a lot about the quality. So you would want to think that the quality, Muntari has still got the quality, but playing for the Blasters goes beyond that. Even for Hearts of Oak, Muntari can't last maybe 60 minutes. Would you want to bring him in a Ghana game? Do we really need? Are we in a dark situation that, especially with the Black Star, that we have to fall on Muntari at this particular point? I don't believe so. I think that he's someone that I'm not sure is even interested in playing for the Black Stars again. Looking at all the things that have gone, I'm sure he's enjoying himself. Clearly, you watch him play, it doesn't look like someone who is concerned about, a move elsewhere. He's just enjoying his game. He understands where he is at this point in his football career. He understands the platform he has to play for the biggest club in Ghana, arguably. If you're a Kotoko fan, you would disagree. If you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you would agree. So he's just enjoying the game as it comes. He's, I'm sure, trying to regain fitness and stay in shape ahead of maybe a potential move as well, or ahead of maybe a permanent retirement from football. So quality, yes, but I don't think in terms of physique, in terms of stamina, Muntari is at the Blasters level here. So for me, let's cut the course and let's focus and let's enjoy what he's given us in the Ghana Premier League with Hearts of Oak.
All right, Ima, let me bring you in. The conversation about him being needed in the Blasters started right after the Super Clash 2 weeks ago. It is still going on social media.
I think the cause for Muntari to be included is because Ghana, as the Blasters, is not performing.
A lot of people are saying that if the players we saw at the AFCON and then Muntari is still playing at this level.
So if the Blasters is performing, then I don't think Muntari will be needed. So I think we have to commend Muntari for the performances he's giving us. He keeps surprising us game by game. In the last game, he had an assist. And I think it's good for Hearts of Oak. We saw what Asamoah did with Legon Cities. He barely played two games for them. But Muntari is here playing game in, game out. And he's also having an impact on the team. So we have to commend him for what he's done so far.
Okay, so you brought in Asamoah. Now, Muntari, he played against Olympics. He played against RTU, Kotoko, Legon Cities, and now Kotoko. Like 6 games or so in a row. Yeah. But if you compare it, because now report says that Legon Cities are claiming they paid close to $1 million to Jan. Considering the impact of Jan and then Muntari so far after their return,
I think Asamoah didn't have a good impact on Legon Cities because Legon Cities really struggled last season. They almost got relegated, and Asamoah was part of that team. And moreover, he was consistently injured. You get me? So I think for Muntari, he's had more minutes. He's shown us that he still has quality and he's helping the team. Just that the results are not coming. But looking at House of Folks' position on the table right now, it looks okay. And you can't blame Muntari for it. For Asamoah last season, you can blame him because last season, Legon Cities were lacking goals. And you expected Asamoah to be in your team to give you that goals because you paid huge amounts of money to have him in the team. So Asamoah was total failure at Legon Cities.
All right, so we're back at the Accra Sports Stadium for the second half of the game. The starting positions of the two teams have changed. House of Oak are now playing from the left on my commentary position, and they will be scoring on my right, whilst Asante Kotoko plays from right to left from commentary position. House of Oak in the box. And that was a timely intervention from the captain of Asante Kotoko, Ganiyu, to deny Isaac Mensah from facing goalkeeper Danlad Ibrahim. Mudasiru is able to go past his marker Frank Etuga, and he has been denied by Robert Adusoa. But Dennis Nkrumah had to clear his lines. Kotoko takes it through quickly. Imori Ibrahim was trying to send in a carpet crossing inside the box, but the supply, and that was a very good dribble from Mudasiru, and the tackle from Robert Adusoa was very reckless.
For me, I think it was timely. He did very well with the tackle, not to foul Richmond Lamptey. So I'll applaud him for the tackle and how he cleared the lines there.
And Kojo B Jr. is inside the 18-yard box. Sule Muntari was trying to get the final touch on the ball, but referee Gabriel Opokwahin whistled for an infringement, and that was a good run from Kojo B Jr. I think Bani was punished for handling the ball inside the Kotoko box. And it's like we saw in the first game, Dennis Kose's side seems to be a no-go area for Asante Kotoko. And the Phobians attack.
Advantage. Let the game flow.
I don't know.
Oh.
And so far, 3 Asante Kotoko players, they've been booked. 2 in midfield and 1 left back, Imori Ibrahim, Mudasiru.
If you're not going to give it a card, allow the game to flow. I mean, there was no need for the referee
I don't even think that it was the referee who stopped the game. The House of Folk player could have just, because if a referee will give you a card, even if they proceed, you definitely get your card.
For Justice Blay, I think he's not been the Justice Blay we knew when he played on loan at Asante Kotoko. So far,
he has been booked.
Yeah, so far it's been like 5 games since he returned, and he's yet to give us the Justice Blay that Kotoko fans saw during the Confederations Cup in 2019. And I think if this is how he is going to play, then why don't you maintain Richard Bodu Agadas? Because Agadas, before Justice Blay came in, was playing very well, and you sacrificed him for Justice Blay.
He was trying to get a shot at goal, but I think he missed the touch. And George Mfuege.
Muntari should be doing better in such situations. The ball came on his favorite foot, had enough time to plan where he was going to plant the ball. That wasn't a good strike for me.
Got a similar opportunity in the Super Clash, but couldn't get the connection that he had wanted. Inside the 6-yard, Muntai couldn't score. House of Oak surging forward, and Salim Adams doing a good job, and the phobia side! Daniel free upon here! Banya breaks the heart of the Porcupines again like it did in 2021. Daniel free upon here gets the first goal for Accra House of Oak in the Presidential Cup, and look at the celebration from the Presidential box. The VIP area, look at the Phobians. Look at the Phobians, and by this time their rows will be going on, and they are lighting the fire. House of Oak and up by a long goal.
We call for quality in the first half, and this is quality. The dribble by Salim Adams, the pass to Fatah Dauda, the cross and the failure by the Kotoko defense to clear, and the strike by Daniel Freer with his weaker foot. What a strike! What a
strike from Daniel Freer Barnier.
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal. Yeah, perfectly taken. The technique was right. Now you look at the build-up. Look at Salim Adams. He is under 20. Look at the quality he showed you. So I think still we have the quality in the league, and they just need opportunities.
I believe that this goal is going to spark some excitement again, because
and the CEO of Asante Kotoko, I don't know whom he was making the call to. Probably he was telling the coach to introduce new legs.
It shows off coach, you're steady. Yeah. I'm sure that's what he's telling coach, you're steady.
But I think if you are in his position, you wouldn't be happy seeing your team go down in a cup match. You want to win. Nana Amponsa is he's in the second year, right? And he's doing very well. People are applauding him. But you need trophies to show for the good work you are doing. So he, in his position right now, will be frustrated.
So we are going to say an
and Asante Kotoko, they give possession cheaply again.
Oh, Salim Adams.
That boy.
And the young man from New ABBRC, Salim Adams, who announced his presence in the CAF Confederations Cup at the Accra Sports Stadium, and baby Jet Asambojan.
He is a die-hard Kotoko.
A die-hard Asante Kotoko fan is disappointed. The look on his face alone is the same look we got in the AFCON when the Black Stars were busily performing abysmally.
Oh, baby means.
And Asante Kotoko in possession. Richmond Lamptey will try to pick out Mudasiru. And that was Sheriff. Sheriff has been dispossessed. Hasselhoff going again. Good job being junior. He could have just decided to go for a simple pass. But if you miss the man, don't miss the player. And Danlad Ibrahim, Eli is complaining too much. Referee Gabriel Opokwahin is telling the young man, gentlemen, go back to your pole. And that is what I was talking about. Kojo Bin Jr. could have simply decided to pass the ball. But House of Oak, 4 Asante Kotoko players have now been booked. Captain Gani has also been booked by referee Gabriel Opogwahen.
Now, if the game ends like this, I'm looking forward to what Samuel Bowden will see. He said Kotoko can't beat,
even if
Hartford.
Let's see, but we've done only 53 minutes of action. House of Oak will have another opportunity with a set piece, and as I've always been saying, Salif Ibrahim was probably doing it better than Muntai. Muntai will take this one, and Danlad Ibrahim, though he was not able to keep out the Daniel Free's ball from entering the net, for the 4th time in this game, he has denied Sule Ali Muntai.
Muntari are hitting the ball correctly. He's trying to going for goals and trying to ask a lot of questions from Ibrahim Dalla, who so far has answered all the questions from Muntari's set pieces. So it's an interesting battle. It's an interesting audition for Ibrahim Dalla because if you keep up with such performances, then the calls for you to enter the Blasters heighten, then clearly you get a chance to
all the set pieces going in favor of Accra House of Oak. We've done 55 minutes of action, 10 minutes, 35 minutes more. Muntari whips in the ball. He was trying to score. Dennis Kosa should be careful. And now, that was a good interception from Mohamed Al Hassan to deny Frank Etuga. Dennis Kosa should be careful. It was his complacency that led to Legon City's equalizing in their game against Accra House of Oak at the Airworks Sports Stadium. And Etuga. What was Mohamed Al Hassan trying to do? Richard Atta, but simply being on a holiday in this game.
But you are now we are seeing some life in the game now. End-to-end stuff here. Kotoko wants to equalize. Haas wants to score a second goal and cement their victory. So we are seeing a lot of action now.
Seeing a lot of action. Ima, what are people saying on Twitter? If you get some messages.
So it's been about Muntari and then the President's Cup, and Bridget O2 has tweeted that phobia night. So he's expecting that the night will end in favor of phobia. Now Zumi Bay, it is hard to folk for the President Cup, period. That's what he tweeted. Muntari still has a wicked left foot. That Kwame Frimpong's tweet. And Kwame Amo Dazi, come on, hard to folk, hashtag President Cup. Now Yao Shelby also tweeted, go there, a free banner, say phobia. That's also his tweet there. So it's been about Muntari and then Daniel Afriye Barnier who got the opener. Abdul Aziz Rahim Opoku Ahen is an Ashanti referee who was clearly brought in to rub hearts.
I don't like this. This type of. If you see something like that, you ignore them. We want people who stick to the game. And Sule Muntari doing a lot of work at his age, pressing or guessing the Japan to win possession. And guessing the Japan had to foul the veteran after losing the ball to him.
You might have your issues with Muntari, but you can't question his passion. You can't question his dedication. Game. Whenever he's on, even gutter to gutter, Muntari will give you 100%.
And Danlad Ibrahim makes another good save again. It's been Danlad against Accra House of Oak.
You remember when the game started, I was talking about Kotoko's defensive shape. Now,
and look at the Phobians. When it happens like this, they will give you fans. But
this is where the narrative comes in. Yeah. Form doesn't matter in this game. Hard to folk clearly are not on form. Kotoko are the one who are on song. And look at what's happening right now. Hard to folk having their best game and Kotoko are trailing. And Richmond Lamte off for...
Richmond Lamte is off with Richard Boedu.
It should be Justice Blay. Blay off for Boedu because Blay he's done nothing for Kotoko this evening.
Another corner for House of Oak. Muntari who decided to go for a low block, but Daniel Afriye Barnier couldn't control.
No, that looked like a training ground routine that Afriye Barnier couldn't pull off. He was the first man. I'm sure the plan gets it to him. He turns and he fires into the net, but it couldn't come off as planned. Maybe next time it will work for Arturo. But they are creating the chances now. You can see the likes of Aziz Aruna Futa, Kobe Jones and the guys taunting the president and the other Kotoko supporters in the VIP stand. So it's working in Hartford favor now. They are getting the chances. Let's hope that maybe from a Hearts perspective, they take advantage of them because football can be quite funny sometimes.
Football can be quite funny. And the Phobians this season, they've given up leads. They gave it against the Diana Stars. They were leading. They conceded late against Wafa at the Red Bull Arena in Sugakope. They did the same thing. And just last week, and Asante Kotoko, we've seen a good ball.
Oh, Etuga.
And Frank Etuga.
Fuck.
It's already offside. So his goal will not count. Frank Etuga Mbella. He has scored 13 goals in the Ghana Premier League with about 15 games more to go.
But
2 hat-tricks so far.
Most of his goals have been at the Baba Yara Sports.
He has only scored just a goal away from home.
His form away is not that the same as home games. And now, somebody will be a happy man. But I expect Kotoko to keep calm, stick to their plan, and then play to what the coach will tell them. So I don't expect them to rush and try to get the equalizer because that will expose them for how to focus.
And look at the Hasselhoff captain, Fatah Mohammed. Obin Jr. seems to be complaining. Obin Jr. was the top scorer of Accra Hasselhoff, and Nanaya Ponsa is getting up from his seat. It's too hot for him.
We've passed the 60th minute mark. Montari is still on. I'm a bit surprised that.
And look at that drive from Fatah Mohammed. It takes really good to do that.
Intense.
It's because the team is in the lead. So
it gives you confidence.
Even if you've not dribbled before, you get the confidence to do it. And for Prosper Ogumnete, he's doing a good job for Kotoko, but he needs to win.
And Hasselhoff on the attack again. Kojo Bin Jr. has been brought down by the man who was just introduced in the game.
The referee should be flashing the yellow. That's a bookable offense.
That's a bookable offense, but I think that Kojo Bin Jr. should learn to release the ball on time. Hasselhoff getting. This is the time that they have to close the game because George Mfuege and Frank Etuga, they don't need too many chances to score. Suleiman Tai will take this one again. I can see Salim Adams also behind the ball. And Salim went for a long drive. But the youngsters' free kick goes way off target.
He's been a man of the match, and a goal will cap it. An amazing performance for him. So he would want to score one of his trademark goals. That's the long range, and it will cement an outstanding game for a young man like Salim Adams.
George Mfuege had a very good opportunity to shoot that goal, but he decided to link up with his countryman. But Muhammad Al Hassan read the pass, was able to dispossess, and Salim Adams is going again. He picks up Daniel Friebane, but Ghani steps in to intercept the ball. What a day it will be for the Phobians. And just a single phrase will be running through if Hasselhoff are able to win this game.
I told you,
even in our bad form, you cannot beat us. That is what the Phobians will say after this game. Ima, don't change your mind.
No. I told you, whoever started the game from the Independence Square.
Yeah, but
Hasselhoff did.
Are you sure?
Hasselhoff did.
No.
This is the Independence Square.
No, Baba.
I told you.
Has started from conference center.
No,
has started from conference center.
I'm not sure. Hasselhoff started.
We said it before the game.
Has started from conference center. Hey, Boga.
And to Kwafurwa. Now, Asante Kotoko guessing in Japan is trying to send some deliveries inside the box. But Hasselhoff cleared the lines. Mudasiru.
He's been a bit quiet in the second half. We've not seen a lot of action from him, and I think that mainly explains why Kotoko are struggling, because once he is in form, once he has a lot of the ball, once he's in a lot of play, Kotoko tend to play well, and it seems like the second half he's been lacking. But if you're done, Bani has won a free kick for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. GhanaWeb and his players are not happy with it, but I think that there was some culpability in there that the referee had to be part of it.
And he should be careful, because he has a yellow card, and that's the president. He's not a sports writers president. The free kick was effected, but Kotoko cleared the lines. But Kotoko, before this game, they said they had the man. It's true. George Mfrege, what a good control. And it seems that whatever happens, Asante Kotoko are still not able to use Dennis Kosa's area.
Yeah, Dennis Kosa is one of the balanced fullbacks we have in our league. Offensive-wise, he will give you an A game. Defensive, he will give you an A game. So
Well,
that's what we are seeing here.
Will you say a perfect replacement from Radio Voka?
Yes, perfect replacement. And maybe his offensive game might not be as good as
Ovuka.
Radio Voka will give you. But, I mean, if you get somebody like Kosa replacing Radio Voka,
I'd always say that Radio Voka, you should have naturalized that young man. Hazevolk giving away possession. And that was a good run and very good interception from the man who made the goal. And this will be the fourth trophy for Hazevolk in less than a year. Exactly a year around this time, Samobodi took over and Mo Ibrahim whips in the corner. But the Phobians clear their lines, and Obi Jr. acting as the robots up front, and Augustine in Japan was able to defend very well, to keep the ball in play for Kotoko. And they will start the build-up again. But the Phobians win back possession, and they give the ball away again so easily. President's Cup, 8 trophies for Asante Kotoko, 4 for Hazevolk, 2 for Brekun Chelsea, and 1 for the mysterious club in Ghana, the Buswa Dwarfs, who are now in the Division 1 league. Philemon Tari showing his quality. I think this is the first game he has been able to go past the 65th minute mark.
And it shows that clearly and gradually he's getting into his groove. And if Hearts of Oak can get 50% of the Muntari we know, then it's going to be a huge benefit to them, because this is, for me, Muntari has maybe 10 or 20%.
Yeah.
So if they can even get 20% of the Muntari we all know, then it will be a good coup for Hearts of Oak that they sign him, and a player like his caliber, especially what he does to the dressing room.
Asamoah very frustrated, explaining tactics to the people around him in the VIP box. We are approaching the 70-minute mark. And this will be the 32nd victory for Hazevolk at the Accra Sports Stadium if they are able to win this game. Hazevolk, they win the ball and they give it away very easy. That young man, Salim Adam, is doing it to Richard Gwedu Agadas. In our local in our local dialect, you say Osusuna Pamatayashon, back to back. Salim Adam.
You know, where I normally watch my football, when you do some of this, someone will shout, advert. That's what he's done to ordinary advert, correct advert.
Salim Adams, his quality has never been in doubt. But a lot of people believe that he should be made to steady. Daniel Free Barnier wins and attacking, and he's calling on the fans.
You know, Daniel Free did trials at Kotoko.
He did trials at Kotoko, but he was not picked.
And he's been their nightmare.
It's the same thing like Arsenal. I can name a lot of top players who did trials.
You know the one which is worse? Hurricane came from our academy.
As a vogue inside the area again, Kotoko cleared the alliance. And Augustine in Japan couldn't take control of the game. Sule Muntari did a little dummy. And Fatao whips in the cross. And the phobias are still inside the box. Daniel Free was trying to get a shot from his weaker foot again, but the ball was intercepted by Gani Kotoko, attacking now from the right flank. And just like Coach Christopher Nimley will say,
oh, beautiful.
Beautiful display from the man. Richard Nkrumah has a book are doing it.
Oh, wow.
The game in the second half has been good, has been impressive. That's the young man, Dennis Nkrumah. He's been top on his game. But what the defenders of Hazelfolk are doing is introducing the Ghana Premier League in a proper way to Frank Etuga and George Mfuege. Kotoko have an attacking free kick. And they're whipping the ball. And the ball went straight off target. I guess in Japan. Look at the Phobians. Also will be sweet after this game.
Yeah, also will definitely be sweet after this game. And when you go to social media, I think Samuel Bodu is getting the praise here.
The Guardiola of Ghana football.
Abdul Aziz Rahim has Aziz Rahim says the primary school dropout Samuel Bodu is schooling the PhD. Dr. Professor Odum.
Just like Alaji Guza will say, football is not about degree. Has a folk inside the 18-yard box again. Kojobi Junior. And has a folk, they are doing what they do best to miss chances.
For a club that, especially this season, has a history of throwing away a lot of leads.
And if you check their stats, as a folk, they are one of the highest creators in the league, but they've scored the least number of goals.
What is Justice Blaze still doing on the pitch?
Samuel Boateng, he scored a goal on his debut at the Babayara Sports Stadium against Bechem United. He has been introduced to replace Mudassir Salifu.
Now Salim Adams is in the trends and he is trending number 2 on Twitter right now. George Addo Jr. says Salim Adams. That's the tweet. Gary R. Smith, Salim Adams doing a madness. Fear Empress, Salim Adams is the elegant player in this game. Victor Achu says enjoy Salim Adams while he lasts. I don't believe Salim Adams will accept the $70K and transfer him to Hearts. Elizabeth Al-Hassan also tweeted, Salim Adams na correct footballer. My goodness. Pabing Vincent, Salim Adams.
Has a ball going again. Daniel Free Barnier, he doesn't time his run. He's like the stepbrother of Timo Werner. I'm guessing in Japan, surging forward. Richard Boydou Agadas breaks up play to Justice Blay. Finds or gets in the Japan. In the Japan, we've been having a difficult time around the area of Dennis and Kromakosa. The man wearing the jersey number 45 and has a book. We also have their top scorer in this season's Ghana Premier League on the bench. That is Abeyime Drogba, Kofi Koji. And I don't know how they are leading, but the fans still seems to be expecting more from the two teams.
I don't think the game will see another goal. The way both teams are playing, I don't think we will see another goal.
As a Vogue, they've gotten the opportunity to double their lead. And Isaac Mensah. And the Porcupines are in the 18-yard box. Oh. And that's the goal for Asante Kotoko.
Fabulous.
Kotoko gets, and that's the man who was just introduced. Samuel Boateng gets the equalizer for Asante Kotoko. And the Porcupine flag are flying all over the Accra Sports Stadium, and there's 1-1 draw between Accra House of Oak and Asante Kotoko.
I think this is what Kotoko fans needed, and Samuel Boateng has provided it for them. It was a mistake, and this time, after squandering a whole lot of chances, this time they took advantage of this one, and Samuel Boateng, although his shot took a deflection, but still managed to go in. So I think Kotoko are back in the game. Now we have about 40 minutes left. I think this is where the game will be more enjoyable.
And a mistake from Robert Adosoa, and he has been punished by Samuel Boateng.
I think now that we
it
have...
It was a deflection on Mohammed Al Hassan. That's why, and look, a proud father, Dr. Prosper Nate Ogun. Can we get the match winner? Is it time for Boydou to introduce new legs in the game?
Prosper Nate's substitution has worked for him. I think Samuel Boydou might also try to affect the game with his substitution. This is where the tactical brains comes together. And Prosper Nate has shown that yes, he's up there in terms of the substitution and how to read the game, how to introduce a man at the right time. And he had it spot on with Samuel Boateng. Now it's up to Samuel Boydou to also show what he's got.
Kotoko going again. George Mfuege has been flagged. If you don't miss your chances, you pay for it. That's just exactly what we are seeing here at the Accra Sports Stadium. As a Vogue, after going up, we've had numerous opportunities to double their lead, but Kotoko and Salim Adam will also go into the books of referee Gabriel Ahen.
I think it was a silly tackle. He lost the ball and it was a late challenge. For me, I think he's lucky to escape a red. Yeah, it was mistimed tackle. Yeah.
I don't know why they always want to go with their two legs.
Yeah, it should be a red card.
And the Porcupines.
Porcupine Tertiary. They are lighting up the stadium. I love the firecrackers. How they are.
After being quiet for almost 75 minutes, they've now found their voice.
Yeah. Porcupine Tertiary.
And Salim Adams, after going for that double tackle, He's also down and medics are turning to him. What's going on Twitter?
So when you go on Twitter right now, I think Samuel Watson is also in the trends, and Ore Kwampofu says the forgotten man. Samuel Watson scores with his first touch. What a sub by Prosper Nate. Christopher Nate, he is a Kotoko player and he didn't play in this game. He tweeted "Go Kocha," so that's his tweet over there. Mr. Gentleman also says, see the Kotoko fans, world celebration spa. The whole stadium is lit. And Listo Mensa also says Ogum is let me pass and have another. Michael Akomea says Hearts of Oak deserved to win this game. They are the better team any day, anytime. Elikem Pele says what a game we've had at hand. Game on. So that was after Samuel Boateng got the equalizer. And Abu Abanku on Twitter also. Abu Abanku. The Hearts defender is more useless than Maguire. So you can continue.
Hearts of Oak are making their first change in this game, and the man that the Porcupines are afraid of is being introduced. 3 changes. Patrick Razak and the late Park Kofi Susum nicknamed him, is it Omotoyosi?
Omotoyosi.
Glass Owako, another veteran, is being introduced. For Sule Muntari, he's been able to play 80 minutes of action. Glass Owako comes in for Sule Muntari. Khalid Bamankwa is also out for Isaac Mensah. 3 changes and 3 response from Body.
Well, I think for that of Montari, clearly, I mean, we were surprised to see him go beyond the 60th minute. That they had seemed to be losing the midfield battle, especially now that Kumasi Asante have scored. They don't want to go ahead and win the game, and you don't want to have dead legs on the pitch. So it's important to introduce Caleb Amankwa, who will come and solidify the midfield, also help defensively. And you have Awako, who, when given a chance, can give a pass or create a goal. Then Patrick Razako Motoyosi, who on the flanks, will be creating a lot of headache for the Kotoko. So it clearly shows the intention of Coach Samuel Bodu, try and contain the pressure, and let's see if we can hit it long to the likes of Razak and the other forwards to try and steal the win for Hearts of Oak.
Let's see what the 2 teams have for us in the final 8 minutes of the game. One draw, Glass in Owako. And Patrick Razak, they've been introduced in the game. Now the Porcupines seems to have taken over the midfield again. That was a good interception by Muhammad Al-Hassan. Mo Ibrahim was sending across again. The ball has been cleared out of danger by Hearts of Oak. Glass Owako gets his first tag, but it was dispossessed by Richard Boydu. Even if I use my youth players, Kotoko can still not beat me. Let's see how it goes. Mohamed Al-Hassan is going forward again. Daniel Friebani, but Danlad was able to step in and guide the ball to corner. But the Songians had the last touch, so it will be a welcome goal kick for Asante Kotoko.
I don't know what the rules are with specific to this game, but
I think we will go straight to penalties.
That'll be interesting.
But the last time these two teams played on penalties, it was the NC Cup and the CK Akono, and Mohamed Al Hassan missed for Kotoko to win to progress to the finals.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see because he's still in the team and with penalty shootouts for Ghanaians.
Are you saying he's still going to miss?
Not that he's going to miss, but maybe he will make up for what he did the last time around. Who knows? It's penalties, and Ghanaians, we think penalties are 50-50, and it's difficult to predict who will win.
Patrick Razak, we really have to try and foul that man, but he has committed himself. And I'm guessing that Japan will have a defensive free kick. The ball has been effected quickly. But the passing game of Kotoko under prosperity having been bad at all. Five more minutes. Plus added time. The Fubian is down. So the referee will have to attend to him.
I expected a more exciting game after the Samuel Boateng's equalizer, but it seems the tempo dipped, and now both teams are trying to manage the score and try to extend the game to maybe penalties or extra time. So I'm not surprised if we don't see any goal in the last 4 minutes. I will be surprised if both sides are able to get the winner.
Boydie is not impressed. But that situation with Mohamed Al Hassan has been sorted out. The referee Gabriel Kokwain resumed his play. Phobians need to be aware that you cannot make mistakes against an informer Asante Kotoko side. Robert Adusua has also been booked for his foul on Sheriff Mohammed.
It's quite strange that this game is ending with all the players, all teams having 11 players.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of, very cynical, very reckless tackles by the referee for some reason. I think due to the fact that it's
a ceremonial game.
Let a lot of players off the hook. They should thank their stars because on a good day, one of them would have been sent to one of them would have been sent off earlier than the game.
Free kick for Kotoko. Japan whips in the ball. Awako was trying to clear and has the ball, give one possession. Patrick Razak is clear. Patrick Razak, can he do it? Patrick Razak, and Patrick Razak Patrick Razak on the Patrick Razak, wow, it's me. That gentleman has been criticized heavily. He got a similar chance like this against Asante Gold in the earlier part of the season, but Patrick Razak was not able to score. But Patrick Razak, just like Fernando Torres did it against Barcelona in 2012, Patrick Razak has been able to do it. 2-1 for Hasbro.
What a game. I will count to Patrick Razak, but this is the Hassan Kotoko game we want to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that in the presence of the President of the Republic of Ghana.
Drama.
We've seen this. We've seen the drama. We've seen excitement in the game. But Razak, what a run, what a go, what a show of composure to,
Look at that. And the back line, the center backs, where were they going to?
They were chasing the winner. You know, you have to.
Then the goalkeeper came very quick.
I
think we were talking about both teams' coach, their technical handlers, and this is where you have to comment Samuel Bodu. Prosper United did his, got the equalizer, and he sat back, read the game well, and he did his substitution. Now he's in the lead. This is what we want. They know what they are doing, and when they are on a touchline, they read the game very well together with the assistants. For me, Hearts of Oak have won the game from the tactical, from the bench, and I think we have to applaud them.
And Suraj Seidu, a destroyer, has been introduced. Daniel Free Barney scored the first goal. He has been asked to take his seat. We've done the 90 minutes. We are waiting for what referee Gabriel Usua in, and we do 3 minutes. And I remember about 7 years ago, right here at this venue, Hearts of Oak scored a goal in the 88 minutes. But before the Phobians could finish singing Arose, Arose, there was an equalizer from Amos Rimpong. Are we going to see a similar situation? I think it was Wilfred Kobana. And the Phobians nearly committed themselves.
The game has been enjoyable.
And the game has been enjoyable in the final minutes. Asante still holding on to possession. But the Phobians are fighting for their lives. There is a trophy at stake.
Whoa!
And the goal you heard is from the GhanaWeb newsroom. It seems the porcupines are bleeding.
What a game.
What a game it has been, especially in the final 20 minutes. That cross and that header from Mfwege went straight to Richard attack.
Nanaba is happy for the game. What a game with laughing emoji. I think the second half.
The Phobians, they found their voice. The porcupines are leaving. This might probably be the last action in the game. Glass in Awako picks up.
I mean, Solomon Tyrell is on his way to winning his first
game,
first trophy and first game with Hearts of Oak. I mean, you couldn't get any better for him.
And I think that the captain, he has
today
he has impressed.
He's down
both defensively and offensively. Asante got to go inside the final third. Hearts of Oak clear the alliance, and that's the end of the game. Referee Gabriel Pokwahin, and look at someone where I told you this is my city. This is Accra. That is Samuel Boadu for you. This is Accra. Look at Samuel Boadu. Look at Samuel Boadu. Guardiola. Look at Samuel Boadu, and just like he has always been doing, he will hit the chest and tell the fans that this is Accra. This is my city.
Charlie. The second half has been mind blowing. I didn't expect it to be this exciting. I mean, Hearts of Oak, they've won the trophy. Samuel Boadu has the bragging rights right now, and I'm hyped. I want to know. I want to listen to him at the post match. What's he going to say? Because he said it emphatically.
Let me ask you, if you were Boadu, what would you say?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not Boadu right now.
No, but I'm saying that if you were Boadu and
of course
you've claimed 2 weeks ago that
of course he's going to brag, And he said it that he can Kotoko can beat him even with
the second team. And now 8 games, official games, and
I think the first half didn't go well, but the president will be proud to be in the stadium to witness the second half. I mean, drama all over, excitement, end-to-end stuff, a whole lot of talking points in the second half. This is what they expected. I think the first half they wanted to impress, but the second half both teams calmed down and then tried to play to their game, and then they have everything right. This is the game we witnessed, I think, barely a week ago. So I'm proud of them. Kotoko didn't have too many chances. They had few, and then they scored one. Hartlepool had a lot, and then they managed to score two. It's been an exciting game.
It's been an exciting game. Let me bring you in. If you just join us, and I know that by now, and Patrick Razak is crying because he has been heavily criticized for his, in quotes, bad decisions inside the 18-yard box.
A friend of mine would say he's crying joy of tears instead of tears of joy. But it's a huge, goal for him, because if I thought he was going to miss it, because I mean he
has done it before,
and this one of the few times where he goes on a run and ends up putting the ball where the ball is supposed to be. So it's a huge goal for him. He's done well for himself to be able to win the game in such manner. But as Iman said earlier, this is the game. The second half is the game we all expected. It's the game that gives good advertisement, good audition for Ghana football. Anyone who watched the second half of this game would want to watch another Ghana Premier League game. Yeah. And that's what football is all about. The players seem to were under pressure in the second half, then made up for that with the performances in the second half, and we enjoyed the game really. And what a way to end such a game than a dramatic goal from Patrick Razak. So it's a good game, especially in the second half. We've enjoyed ourselves. I'm sure our viewers and readers have also enjoyed the show, but Hearts of Oak have the bragging rights, and Coach Samuel Bodu, I can't wait to listen to what he will say during the interview, post-match press conference.
2-1 after 93 minutes of soccer action at the Accra Sports Stadium. This has been our coverage for the 2022 President Cup. Hearts of Oak are champions, but we are doing the post-match analysis. We are looking into it, people, especially the 2 goalkeepers and what they've proven if given a chance in the Black Stars. But we will go back and see the trophy presentation from the first gentleman of the land, President Nado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But as usual, before we talk about what happened in the game, Ima, what's going on social media?
Of course, the Hearts of Oak fans are happy, and they seem to be serving Kotoko left, right, center. You know this rivalry, how it is. And Mary Efua says, oh yes, this is a fact. Even Arias will score them. So the Hearts of Oak fans are happy, very, very happy. Phobia Masters, Continental Club Masters, PR17. That's the tweet of Erasmus on Twitter. And Luis Satonam Sedofu says Sule Muntari wins first trophy with Hearts of Oak. And Kujo Morris says, say no more, the best team won. He posted Hearts of Oak's logo there. And Senor Inspires also tweeted, HND coach 4 trophies, PhD coach 0 trophies. Eugene Amponsa says, Patrick Razak has made me chew my words today. Adama Traore of Ghana football. Hungry and Eager also tweeted, be like Asante Kotoko doesn't rate the President Cup, them take dash Hearts of Oak easily.
With this take dash, no?
So, Deep Minister Energy also tweeted, tactical coach Samuel Boadu. Opresa Obete also tweeted, but that was a top game by the 2 sides. He's also happy for Hearts of Oak. Orekwan Pofo says Hearts of Oak win their 5th President's Cup. The first time the Phobians are winning the title in 7 years. That's Hartlepool's journey. Joe Sparrow says, "What a game!" Hashtag President's Cup. Nelly Fix Media also tweeted the scoreline: Hartlepool 2, Kotoko 1. Opresa again. Jay tweeted, "Magic School Bus FC in the mud." Otue Champon, I'm just interested in Samuel Bodu's post-match interview. So everybody is anticipating or can't wait for what Samuel Bodu will say. Papa Kwesi says Hearts Kotoko has it kind of players who knows how to play these games. Patrick Wazak is becoming one of those players. So Salmat also tweeted, "This game dear phobia." Aha, so the Hartlepool fans are happy. Agovevi also tweeted, "Game ends, Hartlepool wins again." Hashtag President's Cup. Razak just did a Fernando Torres at Camp Nou. Vico Afro also tweeted, "Top finish." So that's that. I think Hartlepool fans are happy and they seem to be praising Samuel Bodu and Patrick Razak.
Hartlepool fans are happy. They are champions of the President's Cup in 2022. Let me hear from you. If you are a Phobian, and then of course the losing side, Asante, Kotoko, but don't forget they are still on top of the Ghana Premier League and they are hoping to end their 8 years wait for the Ghana Premier League title under the coach who has PhD. Alaji Guza said that how did you see the game as well?
Well, I think in the first half we were all critical of the game, of the players, because we were not impressed with what they showed us. But in the second half, they showed that indeed they are the two most glamorous clubs in Ghana football. They gave us good football, they gave us goals, they gave us excitement, and they topped it all with a drama, in the dying embers of the game. And that's the kind of game we want to watch. The kind of game that President Akufo-Addo will wake up tomorrow morning and remember that, hey, yesterday I watched some nice game at the Accra Sports Stadium. And I'm sure maybe in one of the days when he's less busy, he'll pass through and watch another Hearts Kotoko game. He'll go on to watch another. So it's a game that I'm impressed, especially in the second half. Some players stood out that I'm sure Coach Otoado will be looking out and be wishing that they get called up, into the Blasters game for Nigeria. So it's, I would say it's an impressive game, befitting of a presidential cup, and to have our president present and witness Ghana football shows how, although we are not there yet, but shows that we indeed have a lot of talent in our league.
All right, now the Porcupines are also getting their losing medals, led by Fabio Gama. He has been missed by a lot of football fans. They are disappointed. And I can see the GFA president, Kotoko, Gaka boss, Kujo Fiano, Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Accra, Regional Minister Henry Korte. They are all present. As a folk, they've closed the gap with 5 trophies now in the President's Cup. They have 3 more to win.
But my heart goes out to our colleague Paulama Bruni. I mean, today it's her birthday. I'm sure. Blasters gave her a broken heart. Arsenal, over there, we've been giving her a broken heart. Then today on her birthday too, Kotoko have given her a broken heart. So my heart goes out to her. I support the club. I support the club Fundi actually.
Bruni, you shall be well. All right, so Ima, we will after the Phobians they take their trophy and all that, we will try and do the ratings right here before we go.
Great Olympics. They are saying bus stop. So after the program, I've stopped the bus of Kotoko.
I think it's a good game. it's memorable. Patrick Razak will live with Hearts of Oak fans for long. Yeah, that one. I'm certain about it. Let's congratulate Hearts of Oak. They've done well with the win, and if they have the bragging rights, even in your best.
In your best form, you couldn't beat us.
Salim will have a selfie with Adudi.
With the president.
With the president. These boys says they don't get money when they play the league. This guy is using iPhone 12.
Look at them. 4 trophies in a year. Glassina also get his first trophy after leaving Great Olympic to no Olympics.
I want to get
to the Olympics.
Look at how the medal looks like. Because I remember
you don't go there. Even the Ghana Premier League medals, we saw what we saw.
Let's see.
But can
we criticize the Ghana Premier League medals. If after the AFCON, the winners' medals, someone took a close shot, and honestly, ours is better. So let's just celebrate them. Let's enjoy the game because you're not bad, sir.
I'm happy for Sule.
Sule Muntari also gets his first trophy.
But are we going to talk about Nuruddin Abdulaziz?
No, Dean.
That boy is a gem. Very good player. In the defensive midfield role, he did a very good job. He made sure Kotoko's midfield were not clicking. And how he break up plays with the tactical fouls, how he battled in terms of the aerial draw and then the ground draw. His height, and you look at his height and he is able to win aerial draws. I mean, he's a good player, and I think Costa Papic did a good job on him. Unfortunately, he got injured, and Benjamin Efutu took over. Now Efutu is no more, and we are seeing another good version of Aziz there. So I think we have to congratulate him. The last time Don Bote was saying he should be given a plot of land for a good performance.
All right, so they've given the trophy to the captain, Fatau Mohammed, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He has given the trophy
at this point. Fatau
to the Hearts of Oak captain.
Fatau should be tired of lifting trophies. This is his fault.
He has 4 trophies now. The Phobians. And as a captain and as a player, your dream is to be lifting titles. GA Cup, President Cup, champions. And it doesn't get any better when you beat Kotoko. And like many Hearts of Oak fans will say, their best trophy was the CAF Confederations Cup. Yeah, the champagnes are also ready. And the Phobians are champions. 2022 GA Cup President Cup, beating.
This one,
yes.
Wow.
No, Hamza, the assistant coach, is celebrating more than the players.
This is made in Accra.
I think this was a match the Hearts of Oak bench wanted to prove that they are still good at what they
wanted to prove a point.
But I think they are facing difficulties in the league, and it seems not to be working for them. So they've proved that yes, they have the abilities to do. Hey, it didn't. So it's been a nice presentation of the trophy, and I think we have to congratulate Hearts of Oak for a good job done.
We have to congratulate Hearts of Oak for a good work done. They are champions. Hopefully, this can turn around their season. But let's go straight into the match rating. Hearts of Oak are champions. They beat Kotoko. Patrick Razak scored a winning goal after Samuel Boateng has cancelled Daniel Free Barnier's goal. So Patrick Razak is the hero. The president is leaving the pitch in his black XUV.
That's Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, hey, it's my dream car. You say it's Benz.
Yeah, it's Mercedes.
in his BMW. Sorry, and let's go straight to the match rating. Ima, let me start with you. Match rating.
Before I start with the rating, I think I have a tweet here by K Poison. He says, like, make Sule Muntari self score Kotoko. I will understand. Atakabur. Atakabur Adamatra.
Repeat that tweet again.
It says, like, make Sule Muntari self score Kotoko. I will understand. For Atakabur Adamatra mum. Atakabur. I think social media is all fun, Kotoko fans, and Don Oprese has posted a porcupine being killed, and it's resting on a tree. The Kotoko mood right now. So
yeah, the porcupine.
The player ratings, starting with goalkeeper Richard Atta.
Let's start with start with Richard Atta.
Richard Atta, he didn't have a busy day today, but I think he was okay in post. So if you rate him 6/10, I think it will be fair. He wasn't caught up in a lot of actions like Danlad Ibrahim, but he still organized his defense well to sail through the game with the first half and then the second half. So I'll give him 6/10.
What about Fatal Mohammed? Let me give you Fatal.
I think he was outstanding. I'm one of his critics. I'm not a fan of his. I think he commits a lot of mistakes, but today was an outstanding display for him. If I were to mark him, I'll give him probably 7.
You give him 7. Ima, left back, Dennis Nkomaposa.
Superb. He had everything spot on. Another good game. He's played 4 games and he's showed less flaws. I mean, I'll give him 9/10.
You give him 9?
Yeah.
Let me come to you as well. Robert Adusowa.
He was at fault for Heart of Oak goal. I mean, he could have done better with that. Aside that, he was timely. He was where he had to be. He popped up at various situations quite well. So probably 6. But for the mistake, maybe 8 or 9. But for a mistake that nearly cost Heart of Oak the trophy, I'll give him 6.
Mohamed Al-Hassan.
Mohamed Al-Hassan, he was composed today, and the mistake came from Robert Adusowa. Today he did a good job on both Fergie and then Etuga. Whoever came his way, he made sure that he is being kept quiet. So Mohamed Al-Hassan also had a good game. I think 8/10 will be fair.
8/10. Now let's go to midfield, Abdulaziz Nordin.
I'll give him 8. Fantastic display. I mean, Iman made mention of where he popped that he had to intercept the ball. There were a few moments, especially in the first half, where I think he was a bit rash, but he made up for that in the second half. Especially when Muntari, appeared a bit tired, he stepped up and shielded the defense quite well for her. So 8 for me.
8 for you. Now Sule Muntari.
Sule Muntari, we said a lot about Sule throughout the game, so I'll give him 8. Yeah.
We give Sule 8. Now let's proceed from Sule to the gentleman who created the first goal, Salim Adam.
It's one of those games where I'm sure he would want to watch over and over again. As a young player who has been hyped for a lot of time, this is one of the games where he distinguished himself. There is no better game to make yourself known, to gain some more fans, to raise your stock than a game between Heart of Oak and Kotoko. And that's what he did today. 9 for me.
9. Ima, Efriye Bani.
Efriye Bani didn't have a good first half, but the second half, I think he showed up a bit. Not despite the goal, he didn't have a good game. Not the Daniel Efriye kind of game that you would expect him to get. But for the goal he scored, it wasn't a big chance, half chance. He got the technique right. It was his weaker foot, and then he managed to score from there. So I think 7 would be okay for him.
7. Obi Junior.
I'll give him 5. I think he was the reason House of Oak could not. He was a bit selfish, most of the time over elaborate. Quite a number of times I expected him to shoot. He held on to the ball unnecessarily. I think 5 or 6 is decent for him. He did a decent job, but he could have done better as a goal scorer.
Ima, let me end House of Oak with you, Isaac Mensah.
Isaac Mensah, I'll give him 5. Isaac Mensah didn't show up. I didn't know the exact position he was playing and what he added to House of Oak's play throughout the game. He got substituted. So I think 5 is okay.
All right, I'll give this one to you. The 3 guys who were introduced in the game, Amankwa, Glasson Awako, and then the goal scorer, Patrick Razak.
For Amankwa and Glasson Awako, they barely had impact in the game. They had few touches, so it will be difficult to rate them. So I will choose not to rate them at all. Okay. But for Patrick Razak, with the goal he scored, he made the difference. And at some point, you can give him the man of the match because he won the game for Atufo. So 7, 8 is okay.
7, 8. Now back to Asante Kotoko. Danlad Ibrahim.
I'll give him 8. You know, Richard Atta made his Black Stars, cemented his place in the Black Stars game for Nigeria
2 weeks ago
on Sunday. Ibrahim Danlad staked a claim for a spot today in that team today. And in the first half, I remember you saying that it's a game between Hearts and Ibrahim Danlad. And that goes to show the kind of impact, the kind of saves. I mean, we ran out of superlatives for him at some point. Tells you the kind of talent he is. And for a team that lost the likes of Razak Abelora, he coming in, upstaging the more experienced Kwame Ba to take over the first goalkeeping spot for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And to do it in this game, 8 for me works. And he even deserved better had Kotoko won.
He deserved better. Let's go to Augustine Japan.
Augustine Japan. Today I didn't see him well. This is Augustine Japan. This is a player who has been good with the right back position. He is playing ahead of Samuel Appiah, who was brought in to be the first choice, but he is playing ahead of him. He didn't give us Kotoko a good performance, so I'll give him 4 over 10. 4 over 10.
Let me come to Imoru.
Imoru also struggled. I mean, for someone with experience, someone that Atufo had a lot of, they basically had a free day, you know, down the left side of Kumasi Asante. So maybe 4 or 3 will work.
4 or 3. Ima, your captain, Abdul Ganiu.
Abdul Ganiu today, he couldn't control the back line as you would expect him to control. Couple of times he was caught out of position, and you can take the goal for instance. He was way out of position, and he had no idea about where Mubarak was also was positioned at that point. I mean, he's the captain. You are the leader at the back. You have to control them. Stand here, make sure that every spaces are being covered. But he didn't do that. For me, I'll give him 5 over 10.
You give him 5. What about his defensive partner, Mubarak Yusuf?
Yusuf as well, I think Atufo created a lot of chances that they could have buried if they were a bit clinical. They were a bit wasteful. And that's the reason why, especially in the first half, they ended up scoring no goals. So the Kotoko defensive, I'm not sure, did a lot of work. But Mubarak, there were a few times, the duels, the area duels he won, the ground duels. So 5 will be okay.
5 will be okay. Now, the midfield, you started with Mudasiru.
It's difficult to rate Mudasiru. He had a good start. The first half, he did very well, but the second half was really bad. So if I'm to rate him, 5 over 10.
5 over 10, Justice Blay.
I'm sure the reason why Coach Nateogum started Justice Blay ahead of Agadas was that Justice Blay,
he knows how to play.
Yes, tends to play well whenever he comes up against House of Oak. But today was the opposite. Even in the first half where Kotoko dominated play, he was not the star. He was not the one pulling the strings in the middle. He was not the one intercepting the ball. He was the one doing the tackles. So for me, 2.
2 for Blay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm a huge fan of Justice Blay, but 2. Today was awful.
Yeah.
That's why Richmond Lamte.
Richmond Lamte, the same. Richmond Lamte, you didn't see the Richmond Lamte that will create openings for Bella, that will put the lay good passes to Mfege and then the attackers. He was off today, and I'll give him 4/10.
Then the two men up front, since 2 games against Haas, they've been completely off.
1-1.
Mfege
1. Tuga 1. They were lost, honestly. And you see, you don't want to blame them now because the midfield,
the supplies were not.
The supply were not coming. But you would, when you are in such a vein of form, and you come up against Hearts of Oak, we expect you to show working. You know, Kasa and Frama, so we expect you to show working, but they were just showing working. They were just Kasa, they were just doing the talking. The talking did not reflect on the pitch. So I'll give them 1-1. Come on for.
You know, Coach Christopher will say, "Mfege Mbege."
Yeah,
2 games against Haas.
Just as Perez said, I mean, one is even fair. I'll give him 0. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, I should know.
He didn't do anything.
So
Bella,
what happened to the start we were giving before that? If you start,
I told you.
all right. So let me take your final, then we go quick one.
I think you should have rated the coaches. Boadu gets 9/10. Prosper Nate will get 7.5.
Yeah. As well, me.
I think 8 for Nate. I think it was. They both showed in those 2 games that they are indeed the future of Ghana football. Yeah, so I'm impressed with both of them. My last was, and then Friday, baby.
Stay with us. It has been Ghana's coverage on the 2022 President's Cup. After 93 minutes of action, Accra has a vote through Patrick Razak Omotoyosi. Yes, if you don't believe it, Patrick Razak got the winning goal after Samuel Boateng has cancelled Daniel Friebani's goal in the second half. Thanks for staying with us, and I hope you enjoy your time. I did this with Emmanuel Enin and Perez Ezwaka, all from the Ghana Sports Desk. Thanks very much to all the production crew who stayed with us to do this. Here, it's Joel Eshen. And until we meet again, do all to read more from GhanaWeb.com and watch more of our videos on YouTube on GhanaWeb TV. Until we meet again, it's bye for now. Don't forget that today is Friday.
Friday, baby.
It has to be boozy.